This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with that prize guy. I am here at Anderson Boxing. Today we're joined with the operator, Owen O'Neill. How are you?
All good, mate. All good. It's a long time since I've done an interview with you.
It is like, I was thinking, obviously, I've seen you been in the gym sort of flat out for months. Like, it nearly probably got to the stage like Conor Quinn was in Glean that time. He was always there, he was cleaning the floors, he was doing everything about the place. It seems to be like the last few months, you've probably nearly just need a bed in here. You've been in the gym that much.
Well, I've been since the 1st of January. 7 months in the zone, 7 months training hard, 7 months off the drink, and it's been just boxing and training, and that's it. And things are starting to pay off now for me.
Obviously, I want to rewind back to August. Obviously, the defeat to Dylan Moran. I'm sure probably it doesn't take many people to sort of gauge. Like, probably wasn't you in the night. You probably, you know, I don't know what your own thoughts were of it. Probably you get caught cold in the first round, and you know, I guess probably more for you. Probably embarrassed. Probably that people paying their money and things like that coming to watch you, and you're not able to get to show what you've been doing in training. Like, that's probably the hard thing in boxing sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, but I had a great camp. I cut too much weight the day of the weigh-in. My own fault. Just got things wrong, and everyone seen me at the weigh-in. I came late, like I looked terrible, and I thought I recovered well, but I obviously didn't. I didn't sleep well that night and all the night of weigh-in and stuff, and it cost me dearly. It was the worst night of my life. I was heartbroken, still think about it all the time, but now I look at it as if it's the best thing that's happened to me, because I've changed a lot of things. I look at it in a positive way now. So.
Is that what sort of led you, you know, from the 1st of January, obviously giving up the drink, obviously related to the training? You obviously want to take it, not that you haven't taken it serious before, but you want to take it a lot more serious. You want to live the constant life as a professional athlete, sort of, rather than sort of, we'll do it for 4 weeks, we're off for 4 weeks sort of thing. Is that what it's been since the 1st of January, going, I'm really going to give 100% to boxing?
Well, when I first turned pro, it was always, I'm not a bad drinker. Never have been, but when I had fights, 8 to 10 week camps, and then you go out and drink with the lads, I ballooned the way up in weight. And then as soon as I got a fight date, I was so back in the zone. Like, I do train really hard, and it just wasn't working. And like I said, the worst thing happened to me. I got beat in the biggest night of my life. For me, that was massive in the Odyssey, like the biggest place there is here to fight, and live on TV, and I sold loads of tickets, and I was just heartbroken, mate. And so now I've just, I remember having a chat with Anne, and just knew if I wanted to give this boxing one more crack, I needed to be all in, 150% all in, and I just had to go off the drink and do things right.
How have you found that? Like, you know, I guess like anything, when you sort of, you give anything up, like particularly when you're a big football fan, obviously going to the football and things like that, like away days, maybe people are having a drink and you're sort of going, no, I'm off, or I'll have a Coke or something instead. Like, mentally sort of ways, like, that's probably taking you a while to get used to and go, oh, no, I'll do the clean option rather than sort of what I would have done in the past.
To be fair, there a couple of months ago, before I had any fight dates or anything, when I was off the drink, I was going to like parties and stuff and having alcohol-free Heineken or Guinness 0.0, and it was like, flip me, why have I never done this before? It's good crack. It feels like you're drinking, but you're not, and you're back in the car on the way home. You're home early, you're home in bed, and everyone's still out drinking and partying. So, it's just like, I'm not saying I'm off the drink for the rest of my life. It's just for boxing at the minute, I'm off it, and like I said, obviously with this fight coming up, things have paid off. I've been off the drink 7 months. I've been training hard for 7 months, and then I've got this fight as well. So it's all paying off.
The initial plan sort of was that, you know, you're supposed to obviously fight on Jay Burns' show, up was like to go on the day of mission. Sort of another opportunity came, I guess. You probably need to be commended probably in some ways, because obviously after defeat and obviously after, you know, the disappointment and the heartbreak and the months of inactivity and
Yeah.
stuff as well. Like you go, right, we'll come back and we'll get a warm up, and then we'll get into another one. How did this sort of fight come about? Like you were preparing for the Devonish, and then obviously this fight in Canada's coming. Have you sort of weighed it up and go, like a win in Canada is your biggest win of your professional career? It probably erases the Dylan Moran fight straight away.
Yeah. Well, the plan was obviously to fight in the Devonish on Jay's show. I was going to be fighting a journeyman just to get me back out. It was going to be a 6-rounder. Had to sell tickets and stuff again. I knew I had to do that, and I was struggling to sell tickets and stuff as well, to be honest with you. I didn't have that many people names down. Like you go from the Odyssey to the Devonish, like I don't mean in a disrespectful way. It's just like such a massive fight to fighting the journeyman again and starting off really. Starting off from scratch again, you know what I mean, after the fight. And I got a phone call off Dan about this opportunity, and flipping Dan rang me and said, we've got offered a fight in Canada. And I didn't even know who it was, and I was saying yes. And he's like, I've sent you his backtrack, and I says, don't care, I'm 100%, I'm all for it. And obviously the guy, my opponent he's some operator. He fought for a world title his last fight. He got beat obviously in points, but I get the win here. I could change my life, and it's just such a massive opportunity, and I can't wait. And it's come out of nowhere, you know what I mean? And these things you just have to jump at them, like, you know what I mean?
Is that what you look at it as? It's like an instant chance at redemption. Like it's a chance for you sort of straight away to go, you know, I can erase the Dylan Moran fight. But like Dylan Moran was obviously stopped in the first round on a Sky show, and then obviously he came back and done sort of the whole opposite sort of to you. So like boxing, anything can happen in this sport. Like you can go to Canada, like Paddy done in Germany. You go over there, you're expected to get beat, and you got and you upset.
That's what I'm saying. I'm the underdog, and I'm going over to cause an upset. But like I said, it's been 7 months training hard, and I know already, and we've still 2 weeks to go. I've given everything, yes, and so no matter what happens, I know I can walk away and go. I give it everything, and I'm more than happy with it.
Obviously, something you said earlier in an interview, just want to cast your mind back on. Obviously, at the start of your career, I remember we done interviews up in your house and things like that. And obviously, you were saying that you wanted to be associated for your talent, obviously, other than selling tickets. Remember that one we done? So from obviously having your first defeat, then the sort of having the struggle of selling tickets, is it not to discredit people that buy the tickets from you, but people who were on the bandwagon when you were unbeaten, like is that demoralising in a way?
I just mean like. I have a lot of friends, family, who were all going to go to the Devonish. Like, I don't mean it like that. I mean, like, you go from the Odyssey, such a massive fight, Dylan Moran, big name, to go into the Devonish, a journeyman again. You're starting off scratch. It's just hard for me to sell tickets. Listen, I don't. People have supported me my whole career, and you can't just expect people to fork out money, and so that's what I mean there, you know what I mean? And and then once this opportunity came, I just jumped at it, you know what I mean?
Like I would have sort of looked at it and went, you know, being totally honest, I would have sort of looked at it and went, take a warm-up fight, make sure you've corrected the demons in your head and such before jumping in, but you're a boxer, you want to fight, and, you know, I guess sometimes you get stagnated if you fight. People are expected to beat all the time, you sort of drop to their level, so like you're only going to know the very best that you are as a fighter when the pressure's off, sort of. Some ways where you're going, I'm going over here and everybody expecting me to lose, so let's just show them how good I am.
I've nothing to lose here, and I'm going over there, and I know in the back of my mind that I've trained very hard. Like, I'm 7 months now training very hard, and I know that I'm very fit, and so like there's going to be no regrets whatever happens. So I don't think I've like I said, I don't think I've anything to lose. Like, I'm going over to fight someone who fought for a world title his last fight. I believe I've watched him. I watched a couple of clips of him. Like, I believe I can give him trouble, and I'm going over to win. I'm going over to cause an upset. Like, there's no doubt about that. And it's an 8-rounder. it's the weight that I fought Duffy at. So you know what I mean. It's to me things are just it's all come out of nowhere. Everything suits me. It's you know what I mean. So
You seem in a happy place.
Yeah.
Like, is it just the fact that you're just jumping at the bit to get back in there to
Yeah.
show people what happened in August last year wasn't Owen O'Neill, it was
Yeah.
probably a tenth of what you were. In some ways, you probably got this fight off the back end of that. So if you look at people like Carl Frampton, remember Carl Frampton fought in Texas?
Yeah.
He dropped twice in the first round
Yeah,
and won
that's
on
right,
points.
yeah.
He then got the Scott Quick fight
Yeah.
and everything like that. So he got fights off the back end of the performance. Like, do you think this fight would have come about if he hadn't maybe done? So you can sort of look at it and go, these guys have made a mistake picking you because they've seen you at your worst, they haven't seen you at your best.
Well, if I beat Dylan Moran, I probably would have been still doing the same things with bleeding away up in weight, going out in the drink and doing this and doing that. And where now, like I've worked with Dan, like we're working on boxing instead of the old Owen O'Neill walking people forward and taking a lot of shots to give some. And like I've just worked a lot on myself, and I've been sparring well. So listen, I just can't wait to get back fighting again. And I know I've given it 150%, so I don't care what, like, yes, I'm going over to win, but I know I've given it 150% in the camp, so whatever happens, happens, you know what I mean?
The gym is obviously buzzing here as well.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of fighters in here now. Like,
Yeah.
that obviously helps as
Oh,
well.
wow.
Obviously, rather than you in here training alone, you know, obviously I've watched everybody in here training today, and
Yeah.
there's others like Lex that are in the gym. Like, you're the father figure of the gym now. Like, you've been in a gym with Paddy and everything else like that, where you
Yeah.
were sort of learning the ropes.
Yeah.
And you were saying you were learning off everybody, you were learning off Conor Quinn, you obviously
Yeah.
learning off Paddy and everybody else. Is it roles reversed sort of in some ways now, where
Yeah.
everybody's learning sort of off you?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, we bit like big Lex would ask me a couple of things about the medical, you know, like stuff like that, medical and other things, and I'd give him the best advice I've got, just about things, but the gym's buzzing. Obviously the new setup Dan has is unreal. So we're all in a good place, and me and Dan's relationship is since the defeat and stuff we had, you know what I mean, it's me and him it's actually brought us closer, and so everything's good, yeah.
It's great to hear that, because sometimes when people get a fight, people expect straight away that you're
Yeah.
going to leave a coach. Like,
No,
that bond
flip.
you have with Dan, you know, that goes back years.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like, you probably maybe blame yourself probably
No.
more than Dan. 'Cause
Yeah, the camp was brilliant. The game plan was brilliant, and it was my to me it was my bad with the weight and stuff. And listen, I took 3 kilos or something off the day of the weigh-in, and I already took a load off that week. It's just it was my bad. It was my fault, my fault only.
On your opponent, obviously, Sukhdeep Singh, Batti, like, will you sort of, when you're looking at footage, like, were you looking at the Lima fight? Like, what sort of fights do you watch? And obviously, I guess you don't want to watch him when he's getting beat.
Yeah.
You know, in some ways you do, because you want to see what works against him. But you're probably looking for his best clips. So you sort of, it's like signing a footballer, and everybody looks for YouTube and they see like a 2-minute video of the very
Yeah.
best clips. Like, you're studying sort of nearly every fight you could probably find of him.
But to be honest, I've only seen a wee bit of clips from him from his last fight, the world title fight. Only a couple of clips, and me and Dan spoke about it. I've just let Dan work away. Dan's watched a lot of them, and that's just what we're going to do this one. So Dan's come up with a great game plan there. The pods and stuff we're doing, and I'm really enjoying it. And listen, I'm just loving life, and I'm getting back to fight. So you know what I mean. And so everything's good, you know.
I guess you can in as the away guy for once, like sort of new ground for you in some ways. Like, you might get booed, stuff coming into the ring, but everybody loves Irish fighters, you know, whether you're in America or whether you're in Canada. Like, you probably get booed coming into the ring, but you get clapped coming out of the ring.
Yeah, well, 100%, yeah. I've got a few friends over in Canada, my good mate DB and Jeremy Klusky and stuff, so I think they're all going to try and get to the fight. And then Dan's brother, who lives in America, is going to go to the fight. So I've actually got a decent enough wee crowd going, you know what I mean, for being in Canada. And hopefully I'll have everyone back here watching it too, you know.
Is it going to be streamed? hear anywhere? Obviously, I guess you know sometimes you see there's so much like the zone can maybe pick it up last minute. There's thriller and things like that. Is there anywhere that people back home can watch as yet?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Hopefully, as soon as I get over, I'll find that out. You know, and then stick an out post up. So
I guess if the worst comes to the worst, somebody will go live for us somewhere. Yeah. We can't not sort of watch the fight. The way that the universe is nowadays with technology, everybody's got a phone. So DB or somebody will
be on that. He'll probably be black like the chair. He'll be live. I'll be good crack. I mean,
it definitely would. What do you sort of, you know, I guess when you go away as an away fighter, sometimes you probably need to work twice as hard as you would if you were fighting at home because you have to, with judges and things like that, like you probably have to work harder than you've ever done before in your life to come away with a victory in Canada.
Yeah, I 100%. Like I know I'm up against it. Like he's a great boxer. He's some operator. He's 19-1. He's fought for a world title. Like this is massive for me, and I'm training very hard. And so I'm gonna get in there and just give it everything and see what happens.
You love that underdog mentality. Everybody always loves the underdog. Look at the FA Cup with the giant colours and stuff they call like everybody loves an underdog story. So you're thriving under that pressure being underdog.
I'm loving it, mate. Yeah. So listen, it's a dream coming true. It's if you told me this when I turned pro that I was going over to Canada to fight someone who just fought for a world title and a big name in Canada, I'd have bet your arm off for it. So
this could change your life as well.
That changed my life. Get the win, changed my life. And listen, just go over and give it everything. And as long as I give it every single thing I've got in my body, I don't care. As long as I have no regrets, go over and get stuck clean in them. Simple as that. You know what I mean?
How do you see the fight going in your head? Like, did you see it being like an Owen Duffy type fight where you sort of maybe have to whip out the guns and sort of go to war and sort of stop them later on? Like, in your mind, how do you sort of your picture in the fight?
He's a great boxer. So there's no doubt about that. So I think if my success will come in the second half of the fight. So yeah.
Well, look, it's great to get a catch up. Obviously, we're not going to speak about matters outside of boxing because you know that I'm on a one up on you for once. But great to get a catch up. Great to see you back in a great place.
Yeah.
Well, as always, we wish you all the very best of luck at your fight on the 19th of July in Canada. And I'm sure we'll see you when you come back and we'll do a victory.
Yes, exactly.
Cheers, all. Thanks for your time.
Up for big son.